Hello guys and welcome to the AdriaBIM channel. Today's lesson we're going to talk about commands here on draw section and commands on this status bar. So we have prepared this tutorial for the users that are using GstarCAD for the first time. So if this is your case, welcome to our lessons. I hope you will learn something here and especially gain motivation to start working in GstarCAD. We can start any action by typing the command name with the keyboard. For example, if I want to draw a line, I can type line, press enter, and this will activate the command and we can draw something. If I type option, I can get this panel of options. So it's very simple. If I hold the my mouse pointer over any icon, it will appear a small box with briefly explanation of this tool. So for example, layer properties, manage layers and layer properties. And here in these brackets you have a command name of this command. So if I click mtext, I will get this command mtext. Okay, so we will get starting. Now I will be talking about the workspace and how I can use the mouse and its buttons. It is possible that it seems and it will be a bit confusing at the beginning, but don't worry because you will get used easily. This cross here on the screen is our mouse indicator, and it has exactly this shape when we don't have any command active. So the most common way to go to the different section of drawings is using the mouse wheel. If I scroll up, I can zoom in. If I scroll down, I can zoom out. So here we will draw something and we will zoom in, we will zoom out. If we want to move with the workspace, we just press the scroll button and we can move around the workspace. If you're familiar with the Google Maps, this works as the same way, so it will be easy for you. If you click anywhere with the right button on the workspace, you will get this panel. Here there are several options that you can choose. The left button is used for selection. If you select from the left to the right, the select area appear as blue, and I have to cover all my line. If I just cover a part, it won't be selected. So here I covered all and I got selected all. Here I covered I didn't cover those lines, and I just cover it select just if you cover all the lines. If you select from right to the left, you get this green panel and it selects all it touches. So here I'm going to select all except this line. Okay, I hope that you figure this out. The next, if we want to cancel selection, we just click escape. Now I will start learning. I will start teaching you how to draw in GstarCAD. I will introduce you to the command line. This is the most basic tool, and will be probably the one you use the most of the time to draw a line. I can go to the home panel on the top, this draw section, and click on the icon line with the left button, and we can draw something. Another option is to type line with the keyboard and click enter. If you look at the command bar, you can see that I have the command line active. Also, the mouse indicator has changed. It doesn't have square in the middle. that appears in this form when I use any drawing tools that you can find here in the draw section. To start drawing, I can just click somewhere here, and I can draw something. Okay, I draw this, but however, it was without any specific dimension and direction, and this is not going to be useful for us. I want to show you how to insert a horizontal line with dimension of 100, but now for units doesn't matter. I will show you how to add them later. If I type enter, enter, click enter, I will activate command line again. This is because it was the last command I have been using, and it is very useful for repeatedly actions. I click to insert the first point, and you can see that if you want to draw horizontally, when you have a polar track activated, you get this white dashed line, and that means that you're drawing horizontal line or vertical line. We want horizontal, so we will type 100, and we got ourselves a horizontal line. We can continue to press by 100 and things like that. For this, I said we need polar track activated. Now I will deactivate it, and look what we have now. We can draw, but if we give our best, it will be out of horizontal line. It will be out of place. For this reason, I strongly recommend you to have polar mode on. If you need to do a lot of horizontal and vertical lines, to draw only orthogonal lines, I can switch onto the ortho mode. And in this mode, which is the button next to the polar, we click ortho or F awesome, F8, and we click first point and click second point, and we can draw something. And we have something drawn. For the last thing about the lines, I will show you how to specify angle. We're going to get to the polar, and look here we have a small window that says angle, length, and undo. We are going to start typing angle and say OK. We're going to say angle 33, and look at this, we have a drawn line with angle of 33 and a length of 100. So that's for line. Now I will explain you how to set up and edit units. One thing I recommend you is drawing with the scale of 1 to 1. I mean, if you want to draw a line with 1 meter of length, draw it with the real length and not with the 1 centimeters, for example. That's because it's easier to not get confused, and you only need to scale the drawing when you will plot it. Now, if you look at the bottom left corner, you can see the coordinates of the mouse pointer. So here you can see the mouse coordinates that change when you move your cursor around the workspace. The first one is X, and the second is Y, and the third is Z, and this is always 0 because we are working in 2 dimensions. And also this point here where my coordinates are all 0, so that's good to know. Now I'm going to set up my units. I will type units, and press enter to open this panel. But here you have he says land. I can choose the type of that I want. In my case, I use decimals. For some area you need to use architectural. In US you have inch or engineering or fractional. I use decimals. Here is the precision, angle. Here's the precision of angle, decimal degrees, units to scale, insert content. I use centimeters. The centimeters are the best, but for this example, I will use millimeters. Lighting, international, American, generic, and so that's about it for the options for drawing units. One thing I forgot to say that GstarCAD has a dimensional systems of measurement, so we only need to put the scale when we need to print. Now I'm going to show you a common issue, especially when we are working with millimeters or drawing on a large scale project. We notice that our workspace is not very wide, but there is a simple way to solve it. If I drive a long line, for example, of 100,000, you see that we cannot get to the end of the line. So I'm going to type Z for the zoom, and you see that we have some options here that we can choose by typing or right clicking, and we're going to select all. And here now we have really wide workspace. So when you need to expand your workspace, just draw a line that is more expand, that is more that has more line than your workspace. Now I'm going to talk about objects snap. So to show you object snap, we are going to draw something, some random object like 150, 50, 80, and we have some object here. We are going to click OSNAP, and here we have these options. I select them all because in default you don't get all these selected, but I suggest you to select them all because it is easier to navigate and to draw with these options all on. So we have endpoint, we have midpoint, center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, extension, parallel, and we're going to show you all of them. So here you can see that when you get to the endpoint, you get the square. When you get to the midpoint, you get this triangle with name of you have like this small text box that tell you what it is, and you can use them easily to draw something to continue the drawing. Like it is very easy. Now we are going to turn off the object snap, or by pressing by clicking here, or just pressing F3. You see object snap off, object snap on. We will turn it off, and here we are going to draw a line 100, and we are going to try to continue this, but you can see that it is not in the same point. But if we select, if we make object snap on and we want to draw, you get easy to the endpoint and you continue to draw. So now we are going to talk about the other options that are, we talked about endpoint, we go talk about midpoint, and we are going to talk about the center. So we are going to draw some of the circles, and you see that we have this center for this circle. We click on the circle and we get this center, and we can draw lines from the center of the circle. Next option is intersection. So I said intersection. For intersection we need two lines, and here we have intersection of two lines, and we can draw from it whatever we want. The next one is extend. So we go to the direction of this line, and we get this extension. So it's a very powerful option. The next one we have is parallel. So we draw some lines, and we have this line. We specified the first point of the line, and we touch the line we want to get direction, and we got ourselves a parallel line. I want to talk about one more thing about this object snap tracking that is very useful. Like we have something that is drawn, and we want to draw it like 50 from here. We're going to get to the endpoint, and we're going to get this dashed line, and we're going to tell 50, and then from there we're going to specify the first point, and we're going to specify the second point. Exactly, we can do that on the other side, but we will type 100, and we will draw a horizontal line. So that is a very powerful option to be used. Here, the next option, the next set of options, we have polyline, rectangle, rotated rectangle, polygon, and revision cloud. I'm going to explain this one by one. The polyline is basically just a group of lines grouped together. So here we select just one, and it is select all because it is grouped. Rectangle, you specify the first point of the rectangle, and then you have three options: area, dimension, and rotation. Area, you can specify the area of the rectangle. We will do dimensions. So they ask you for the length of the rectangle. We will say 300. Specify width, we will say 800, and we got ourselves rectangle. Rotated rectangle, do on a specific way, like we specify the angle. We will say angle. We will say 30 degree, and then they ask you rectangle width. We will say 300, and we will type 800. So basically we got two rectangles, same size, but one of them is rotated. Next one is polygon. And polygon, the first thing that it asks you to enter a number of sides. We will say 8 sides, and then it will ask you to point center of the polygon, and it will ask you to choose between these two options. I will select first one by typing E, and it will ask you to specify radius of circle. I will say 500, and we got polygon with 8 sides. Next one is revision cloud. This is very useful for making comments on some drawings and things like that. But you need a little exercise for it, because it is tough to close it. You see, you need some practice. Like I can do it. I can't do it, and I have experience working in AutoCAD for about for CAD for CAD programs like 12 years. And when you finish with this polygon, with this revision cloud, you get asked question, reverse direction, yes or no. If I say yes, yeah, they will reverse it. The next option is the circle. Like you have this drop menu, and you have like all of these options, like 2 point, 3 point, or regular center radius, or center diameter. You see the difference. This is diameter 100, and this is the radius 100. Diameter here is 200. Arc, you have all of these options with arc. 3-point arc, they ask you to specify second point of arc, and they ask you to specify end of point of arc. So you just need to know English and to follow the instruction they ask you. Here you can start and radius. You can start center length, and all kind of things and stuff for it. Here we have ellipse. So we choose the center, and we choose one of endpoint of one of axis for other side also. You can choose axis and ellipse arc and stuff like that. And one more option we have here is hatch, because this is the beginner course. Hatch we will describe later and talk about later. We have more options here: X-line, ray, spline, region, wipeout, 3D polyline, and helix. We'll talk about those options in some later videos. That's it for this video. I hope that you like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch the complete list of tutorials. If you have any questions or you need more information about this software, GstarCAD, feel free to contact us through our website or through our email. We'll be pleased to answer you. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.